just wanted to share with you. Many of you already used my hair and scalp souffle, and many of you already used the beard balm. You come in the salon to pick it up, you order it online, and thank you so much for the support.
Standing outside Warrensville Heights Police Department, there are family, friends, and even sorority sisters who all want one thing:
justice for Amanda!
On October 9th, 2023, at 11:40 p.m., a man called 911 and said 5 words that would shock an entire community. "I just killed my fiancé." When police arrived at a home on Sunset Drive in Warrensville Heights, Ohio, they found 46-year-old Amanda Williams lying in a pool of blood with 8 gunshot wounds covering her body. Her killer? The man she was planning to marry, 42-year-old Terrell Edwards. But here's where this story takes a dark turn that'll make your blood boil. After admitting he shot her 6 times, Edwards walked out of that house a free man. Before we dive into this case, if you're new to Mystoracrimes, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me what you think about this case. Share this video because Amanda's story needs to be heard. And subscribe so you never miss when we expose the truth. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop a new video. Now, let's get into what really happened that night. Amanda Williams wasn't just another victim. She was a woman who had built an empire with her own 2 hands. She owned a LaMode Styles, a successful hair salon in University Heights near Cleveland. Everyone knew her as Amanda the Stylist. Her work had been featured in hair shows and magazines across the country. But beyond her business success, Amanda was the kind of person who could walk into a room and instantly light it up. Her pastor, Dr. R.A. Vernon from the Word Church, described her exactly that way. She was a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, one of the most prestigious African-American sororities in the country. She was a devoted mother to her adult daughter Tyler and son Tristan, and she absolutely adored being a grandmother to Tyler's 4-year-old daughter. Amanda and Terrell Edwards started dating back in 2017. 2 years later, in 2019, he moved into her home where Tyler and her young daughter also lived. Everything seemed fine on the surface. They went through premarital counseling together. They got engaged in 2022. They were planning their wedding. From the outside looking in, they were just another couple building a life together. But behind closed doors, Amanda was living in hell. And I need you to understand something here, because this is important. Pastor Vernon later revealed that there were pictures, actual photographs, of Edwards beating Amanda. There were text messages where he apologized for kicking her in the face. Let me say that again. He sent her messages saying, "I'm sorry I kicked you in the face." This wasn't a one-time thing. This was years of abuse and manipulation that Amanda had been enduring in silence while she smiled for her clients and showed up for her family. Now, let's talk about October 9th, 2023, the day everything exploded. The couple had been arguing all day long. And what were they fighting about? Edwards was upset because Amanda didn't respond to a text message he sent her. He was also angry because she had suspended his cell phone service. Think about that for a second. A grown man was so enraged over a text message and a phone bill that it would lead to murder. Amanda had just returned home from a hair show in Columbus the day before. Tyler testified in court that she could hear her mother and Edwards arguing in their bedroom that night. The argument kept escalating. By evening, Amanda had had enough. She told Edwards to leave. She went into his closet, pulled out all his clothes, threw them on the floor, and demanded he get out of her house. But Edwards didn't leave. Instead, he testified that Amanda reached for his nightstand where he kept 2 firearms. So he took both guns and moved them to his car. Now, prosecutors made an excellent point here. If Edwards was so scared, if he really wanted to de-escalate the situation, he could have grabbed his work badge and his clothes while he was at the car and just left. But he didn't. He went back inside the house. And here's something chilling that came out during the trial. In footage captured from inside a police cruiser after the shooting, Edwards told an officer he removed his guns because he was afraid he would use them on her. He said, "What I was worried about is that I was about to use the guns." Let that sink in. He admitted he took his own guns away because he feared he would shoot her. When Edwards came back inside, he heard Amanda on the phone and assumed she was calling 911. Investigators later discovered she had actually misdialed and called 9221 instead. She was so distressed she couldn't even dial the police correctly. That's when Edwards claimed Amanda came upstairs with a knife. And this is where Edwards made a decision that would ultimately help convict him. He pulled out his cell phone and started recording. He recorded 3 videos that night, and those videos would become the most damaging evidence against him. In the first video, you can hear Edwards ask Amanda, "You gonna stab me?" And her response is critical here. She said, "I'm going to defend myself." She didn't say she was going to attack him. She said she needed to defend herself from him. The video then shows Amanda setting the knife down on a ledge in the hallway. She put it down, but Edwards would later struggle to explain this during his testimony, claiming she must have picked it back up at some point. The couple ended up back in the bedroom, and this is where the story gets even more disturbing. Edwards testified that Amanda snatched his phone from him while holding the knife. He said he thought he'd been stabbed. He said she was stabbing his phone screen.
With the knife, so I recorded her again. She grabbed the phone out of my hand while I'm trying to record and take the knife and poke the screen and bust the screen all up on the phone. Then she slinged the phone. And then she come charging me, so I'm running around the room. I jump up on the bed, and while I jump up on the bed, she trying to come around on me with the knife, so I grabbed her gun from under the mattress, and she jumped, she was trying to come out. I shot, man. I kept telling her, baby, calm down, put the knife down, stop.
There was a third gun in play now, one that Amanda kept under her mattress for protection. Edwards reached under that mattress, grabbed Amanda's own gun, and then he fired. 6 shots. 6 times he pulled that trigger. But prosecutors tore his story apart piece by piece. Assistant prosecutor Kevin Filiatrout pointed out something crucial. At no point in any of those 3 videos did Edwards try to de-escalate the situation. He never once said, "I've got your gun, please stop." He never warned her he was armed. He never told her to put the knife down. He just started shooting. And here's the evidence that sealed Edwards' fate. The medical examiner, Dr. Elizabeth Mooney, testified that Amanda had 8 gunshot wounds on her body from those 6 shots. 1 bullet can create multiple wounds as it enters and exits the body. But here's what matters most. One of those shots hit Amanda's neck and completely paralyzed her from the neck down. She couldn't move. She couldn't hold a knife. She couldn't defend herself. She was completely helpless. And Edwards kept shooting. The fatal wounds were to her neck and her back. He shot her in the back. Now, remember Amanda's daughter Tyler was in that house with her 4-year-old daughter. Tyler heard the gunshots. She ran upstairs to see what happened. And what Edwards did next is something that still haunts that family. He wouldn't let Tyler into the bedroom. She's screaming, trying to get to her mother, asking what he did, and he's blocking her, telling her to go downstairs and call 911. When Tyler went outside to see if the ambulance had arrived, Edwards locked the door to keep her outside. Her mother was dying on that bedroom floor, and Edwards prevented her own daughter from trying to save her. Edwards would later testify, getting emotional on the stand, that he didn't want Tyler to be traumatized. He didn't want her to see her mom like that. But prosecutors made it clear that Edwards didn't render any aid to Amanda himself either. He didn't try to stop the bleeding. He didn't attempt CPR. He called 911 within a minute, yes, but his excuse was that he thought she was dead and didn't know how to provide aid. By the time we get the full breakdown of the courtroom testimony, where Tyler and Amanda's son Tristan spoke, and you'll see that footage in an upcoming video on this channel, you'll understand just how much pain this family endured. When police arrived, they found Edwards with a small tear in his shirt where he claimed Amanda tried to stab him. He had a light scratch on his neck. That was it. Meanwhile, Amanda had 8 gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the hospital. And here's what made the community absolutely explode with rage. The Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office looked at the evidence and said there was insufficient evidence to charge Edwards with a crime. They released him. He claimed self-defense under Ohio's Stand Your Ground law, and they just let him go home. Amanda's family was devastated. Her friends were furious. Her church community and sorority sisters couldn't believe what they were hearing, so they decided to fight back. Pastor R.A. Vernon held a news conference on October 24th, joined by Amanda's family, friends, and sorority sisters from Delta Sigma Theta. They had serious concerns about the transparency and fairness of Prosecutor Michael O'Malley's handling of the case. They marched to the Warrensville Heights Police Department with the evidence they had collected, the pictures of Amanda's injuries, the text messages where Edward apologized for beating her, proof of years of abuse. Amanda's mother, Georgia Williams, stood there with tears streaming down her face and said, "I have to live the rest of my life knowing I wasn't there for my baby." Tyler told reporters, "I just want justice for my mom. Something has to happen. We don't feel safe." One of Amanda's sorority sisters, Necka Slade Jackson, declared, "The life of my sister matters, and for that, we won't stop until we get justice for Amanda Williams."
I have to live the rest of my life knowing that I wasn't there for my baby.
Amanda Williams' mother and daughter, Tyler Williams, say they're not giving up in their fight for justice during a press conference Tuesday afternoon at the Word Church.
I just want justice for my mom. Something has to happen. We don't feel safe.
Life of my sister matters. And for that, we won't stop until we get justice for Amanda.
The community pressure worked. After weeks of protests and public outcry, a grand jury indicted Edwards in early November 2023. He was charged with aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and domestic violence. He turned himself in on November 3rd and was held on a $1 million bond. Pastor Vernon later told the media he believed the community rally made officials take them seriously, that the weight of that ministry made enough noise that they couldn't ignore it anymore. The trial began in late February 2024, and it was explosive. The prosecution argued that Edwards shot Amanda 6 times in anger after she told him to leave the house. The defense claimed he acted in self-defense. But when those cell phone videos were played in court, when a medical examiner testified about that paralyzing shot, when Tyler described being blocked from her dying mother, the jury saw through Edwards' lies. On March 4th, 2024, they found him guilty of 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and domestic violence. He was acquitted only on the aggravated murder charge. 1 week later, on March 11th, Judge Stephen E. Gall sentenced Edwards to life in prison with eligibility for parole after 24 years, plus 9 additional years for firearm specifications. So here's what I want you to think about. How does a man shoot a woman 6 times? Paralyze her, keep shooting, prevent her daughter from helping, and then claim he was a victim? What makes someone believe they can get away with murder by simply saying 2 words? Self-defense? And why did it take a community uprising to get justice for Amanda when the evidence was there from the beginning? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this case made you angry, share it. Subscribe to Mystoracrimes and hit that bell icon, because we're going to keep telling these stories until justice isn't something families have to fight for. Amanda Williams mattered. Say her name.